Hi, I'm Christina.
And I'm Daniella.
And welcome to Unwritten Curriculum, the podcast where we talk about what it's like to be a teacher while also being a human and all things that come with both.
We're two platonic high school sweethearts about to enter our second decade of friendship and wrapping up our first in the teaching profession. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, this week's episode is called WTF, Weeks That Flop, or What the Fuck.
Yay! All right, Daniella, give us a dish as to what we are doing here, and then we're going to introduce our guest.
So this week, we had a plan. We had a plan in place, and that plan said, no, that's actually not what we're going to do, because this week, it's only Thursday. We're recording this on Thursday, and think of something that could go wrong, and it's gone wrong. For example, we have our first guest ever, Sonia! Sonia, tell us a little bit about yourself now.
Okay. I am Christina's roommate. I've been Christina's roommate since, 2013?
Yeah.
When we were in college.
2013.
And followed her essentially down to LA, and we've been living together since. What else do you want to know?
Here's what I want to know.
What are the viewers interested in?
The viewers are interested in this. If you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oh, tacos.
Okay.
100%.
If you were a fruit, what would you be?
Strawberry.
And what is your favorite piece of clothing in your closet? I know the answer to this. Go.
What do you think the answer is?
I think it's your leather jacket.
I was thinking that too. Is that what you're going to say?
I don't know what I was going to say.
Ha! So our favorite thing that
is your leather jacket.
Yeah. That's a good one. I love my leather jacket, and then I have this leopard print, bomber jacket that I really like.
Yes,
too.
you do have that.
And once again, Daniella always says this to me, we live in LA. Why do we own so many jackets? You just need them. I own that jacket too.
Yeah. So today's a special episode because Sonia's here, and also Benji's here, and also Sonia has injured herself. So this is partially why she's in this episode. You were going to be in other episodes, but
you get to make your appearance early.
Yes.
Yeah, earlier than anticipated.
Raw, real.
Yeah.
Raw, real.
And unapologetic.
Exactly.
Yes. Let's start with the story of what happened to your
Tell
ankle.
us what happened.
And then we'll go more into who you are.
Okay, so to preface a little bit, I work at a nonprofit in Los Angeles. I work at a shelter. I'm the director of clinical services there. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, and have been working with the homeless population professionally for the past 5-6 years. And as I was leaving one of our buildings yesterday afternoon, talking to one of my staff, it was raining, and I was opening an umbrella, and I was walking down the front stairs, and I slipped, and I missed the last stair, and I went down slowly and rolled my ankle.
Kind of slowly.
It was like slow motion. It was I slipped, and then my foot did the 180, and I'm grabbing onto my therapist. I'm like, help! And I immediately knew something was very wrong. And then I spent the next 4 hours in a workers' comp urgent care.
Shout out to workers' comp.
Wow.
Yeah. And while I was there, I was lucky enough that one of my coworkers brought me, so I had a little bit of company for a while. But a man, right after I got in, I was settled, did all their paperwork, and a man came in holding his hands like this, and then his coworker had a bucket of ice with a little bag in it, and I was like, I can't be here.
So did you find out what happened?
We can use context clues and inference to figure out what happened. A Ziploc with ice? A
gallon-sized water bottle cut in half, filled with ice, and had a little black glove.
What was he wearing?
His finger was off. He chopped his finger off.
Yeah. But it was like a chef thing.
Okay, I was trying to get the context.
Culinary.
Was it a chef or did he work in construction?
I don't know. They looked very dirty.
He cut his finger off. I hope his finger has been glued back on.
I think it was. I sprained my ankle.
They do that.
And I was being wheelchaired in, and as I was being wheelchaired in, he like raises up his hand and it's all bandaged. But I could hear him screaming as I'm in the waiting room, and I was like, I don't know if I can be here.
When he went back into the back?
Yes, when they took him in the back, he was screaming.
Because they were sewing it back on.
I don't think they were sewing back his finger on.
And
I don't think
know.
that's... Okay, so was...
The tip... He might have been missing half of his finger.
Okay, if it was his... Okay, so in my mind, in my story, he was missing, like it was cut off at the knuckle. But...
I don't know.
And I'm basing this solely off of signs. In Friends, season, I think, 6, Chandler cuts off a piece of his toe because Monica's trying to be sexy, and they take him to the hospital, but instead of grabbing the tip of his toe, she grabbed the carrot. So that's why he's missing the tip of his toe.
So wait, how did... I don't watch Friends. How did she... Why was she trying to be sexy and then he lost his toe?
She was trying to be sexy, and then she was trying to be sexy with a knife, and then she
No.
dropped the knife.
No, you don't be sexy
on...
with knives.
No. Sharp tools are not sexy.
No.
PSA.
Okay.
Okay.
Healthy teacher tip.
Healthy teacher
Yeah.
tip.
Sharp tools. Sexy.
No, you should always get the scissors that are for children. But make sure you get some for left-handed kids, too, because there are people, too.
Do you buy scissors for left-handed kids?
Absolutely, I do.
I've never bought
Every
wow.
year.
Okay. I have a couple of follow-up questions.
Okay.
So when you fell...
Yeah.
Was it just the therapist who was with you, or was there anyone else who was with you? And when it was slow motion, did it feel slow motion to you?
It felt slow motion to me.
You were like,
no. Yes. And I was wearing my Doc Martens, and I had laced them up.
Second favorite item in your clothing.
Yes.
Yep. Second favorite
Very
in your closet.
I had laced them up, not past my ankle, but to the ankle. And had been fairly tight and secure. And I think that's what saved me from breaking my ankle.
Wow.
Because it was sturdy enough that even though I went all crazy like that, it held it in there.
They don't call them physician's assistant Doc Martens. That's
No.
Doc Marten
there
to
you
you.
go. Doc Marten.
Doc Marten
Yes.
to you.
And mind you, it's raining, and my umbrella turns inside out during this fall.
No.
Like my umbrella turned inside out. I'm holding all these different cups and papers, and like I'm like gripping onto her. And she brings me back up the stairs, and I'm sitting on, we have little benches, and I was thinking to myself, I have an interview in an hour that I had to cancel.
And so you were interviewing for an intern position.
Yeah, for an intern.
So this person that you were interviewing, how old were they, and what do you think they felt when you called them and you're like, oh, do you think they believed you, or do you think they're like, oh, I didn't get the job?
Did you tell them what happened?
Yeah. I was like, I had taken off my shoe, and like our HR lady was like looking at my ankle, and like it was the size of a grapefruit, like immediately.
Yeah, Daniella,
she was looking
it's
at
a
it.
Harry Potter ankle.
Yeah. Sonia's ankle looked like Harry's wrist looks.
When he bends it back.
Yeah, when he
Like,
bends it back.
double the size of what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, mending bones is easy, but growing them back.
Yeah.
And then she has to drink the juice.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna heal, and
Yes.
Benji has just seen Annie, so that's the commotion that's gonna happen. You're gonna jump on her leg, and she's gonna cry.
So we do have a bit of a sibling cousin rivalry between these two.
Yeah, I would say they're workplace frenemies.
Yes.
Yeah.
They are workplace frenemies.
Yeah, and I think this segues us very nicely into the next topic that I want to talk about.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's what
tell
this
us.
we're riffing.
We're riffing today. Workplace frenemies. We all have them.
I was about to say, I was like, let's look about our workplace frenemies.
We all have them, and I think the thing that we have to learn throughout our careers is that you have to see this person every day, and it's not like in any of our jobs, you're not sitting at a cubicle.
No.
You're working like hands-on with these people. You sit in meetings with these people, and you have to collaborate with these people, and it's just, hey, what if I don't want to?
And when shit hits the fan, these are the people who are supposed to be there to help you. And yeah, tell us, enlighten us. What do you do when you don't want to?
I always ask myself, what would Edwin Cacciatorian do? My dad. What would he do and how would he handle this situation? Because if I'm going to put somebody on like a pedestal of how to treat people, it's that man.
Yes.
Shout out, Edwin.
Yes.
Happy early Father's Day to you, my guy.
It's March.
I know, but there's no time like the present. You go into it and you say what you need to say about the job and then you leave. And that's all you do.
Yeah.
So workplace is no time for drama.
Yeah. So do you feel like in situations where you have your work frenemies, do you have frenemy issues with them because they don't do their job or because they're drama people?
I think it's all of the above. It's both. It's come to work and do what you need to do and then go home. But I have had other jobs other than teaching, but like when your work is your entire life and you have nothing else going on, then it's your hub, it's everything. And so this is where you get your lifeblood.
Yeah. Yeah, and
That's it. Yeah. Because when you go to the workplace, it's time for working.
Yes.
Simply put.
Yes.
And then after hours is where you have the fun.
Yes. But what about you? You were the one who brought it up, and I.
It was just the segue. But I have. Speaking as things go, we have lives outside of our jobs, and this week my life took me on a date, and I found where all the hot people are, and I'm telling the women of Los Angeles and beyond. It is at Bigfoot Lodge on Tuesday nights from 8 to 10 p.m. Bluegrass night. God. Remember when we went to San Diego and one of our friends was like standing on the balcony and was like, sorry, I haven't been outside in 2 years. That's what it felt like. And I'm sitting at this table with this man I'm on this date with, and all I'm thinking is, I'd rather be talking to you. You over there. Any of you. Hot. I want to go back.
Did they dance to the bluegrass music?
They were more listening to the bluegrass music, but then when I walked to the restroom, I made intense eye contact with one of the bluegrass players.
Oh.
Trying
to get yourself a little
banjos.
Blue ass.
Ooh.
Oh.
Nice.
Banjos, continue.
Banjos.
Yeah.
In bluegrass?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's like the circle one?
Yes.
Yes.
It's like a guitar, but mini.
Yeah.
But not a ukulele.
No, that's too small.
That was great. And to keep in theme with what we usually do, the past 2 weeks I've been listening to a book called How Not to Die Alone by Logan Uhry, who has the show Later Daters, and I watched an episode.
It's a TV show?
Yeah.
It's on the Netflix.
It's on the Netflix, and she basically coaches people who are older on how to go out on dates, and then they film the dates. And it's the whole process, and it's so nice. I've been listening to this woman talk for the past 2 weeks, and she's great. Her advice has been great. Her advice led me to this date.
Yeah, so talk a little bit more about that. I know that you've read this book too.
Yeah.
So
Being
talk
assertive.
About
Being assertive, being more like open to the types of guys that I'm interested in dating, and figuring out the type of dater that you are. It's either the romanticizer, the maximizer, or the...
I don't remember.
We'll find out. But there's 3 kinds of daters, and then she also talks about like attachment theory and the type of like attachment that you have. And so really being able to categorize yourself as, this is who I am, this is what I'm going to do, I need to not do that and do the opposite of that. And me being research queen, I love knowing things about people. I will become the FBI, and I just needed to not do that. I don't want to create this idea of you in my head, not in the romanticizer way where I create a narrative, but rather like, you are X, Y, and Z, so I put you in this box.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm not going to do that
So it's more of I don't like this thing about you, so therefore I'm not going to give you a chance. Yeah, that makes sense.
And so this guy that I went on a date with, I could name a couple of things that I already was like not interested in that. But
And what were those? What were the red flags?
I'm not particularly interested in dating somebody who, and I don't really need a skater boy. And Sonia's boyfriend skates. I am not interested in dating somebody who like goes to a skate park. Whatever. I also like am not really interested in dating somebody who's not well traveled. Mm-hmm. But that's actually something specific that she pointed out in her book is just because somebody's not well traveled doesn't mean they don't want to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And obviously that's obvious.
But there is a mindset difference between people who are not well traveled because they don't have the funds or they haven't had the opportunity.
Yeah.
And people who are not well traveled because it's not in their wavelength. Yeah.
And yeah, it was just like not the best date, but I went, I got a glass of wine, and I was in bed by 9:30. But
so how was like when you first? I have follow-up questions.
This is the first time we're really talking
so that's
about
what I'm saying.
So
It's fresh. So when
settle it.
So when you walked up to him, how did I'm interested in the first meeting?
Yeah.
And then how quickly did you know after the first meeting that no, I want to leave?
When I go on a first date, I have always given a hug. Mm-hmm. That's just like part of it. Like I don't think I've ever shaken anyone's hand, even when I went on dates like during COVID. Like it was still a hug.
I don't think. Do you shake someone's hand if it's not in a professional setting?
That's another thing that she talks about. Anyway, we'll talk about it. We'll get there.
Some people do.
Some people, yeah. But I
like dab them up.
Warm.
Bring it in. Okay. Yeah.
But if you're gonna dab up, there has to be the.
Yeah, I know. I'm really bad at dabbing people up. But anyway, we can work on that
next episode. When I got there, I was waiting, and then he walked up, and immediately he looked different than his pictures. And his pictures were taken a couple years ago. And when I went to go in for the hug, it was like hugging a pole.
Oh.
Like it wasn't like reciprocated. Not because like of anything other than I don't know if he was like interested in giving a hug back. But then when we went inside and we ordered drinks, which was on happy hour, he left his tab open. So that for me was like, oh, okay. I already knew I wanted to go home, but he left the tab open. So for me, that was like, oh, we're going to be here for a little while. Because
you hugged the pole and you were like, oh, this isn't it.
Yeah. And I think I was worried for the past however many years of dating that when I presented myself to somebody, I wasn't going to match their expectations. Like, of what was on my profile. And I tried to be really honest about keeping my pictures up to date and making sure that it was a proper representation. And when it was not reciprocated, it really sucks. So that was tough. But yeah, the conversation wasn't great. I felt like I was really asking all the questions. And one of the things she talks about is the types of questions that are you like asking questions to get an answer? Are you giving responses that ignite a conversation? Or if somebody's sharing about, oh, like, I just went to Thailand, and then you're like, oh, yeah, I've been there.
It's a conversation killer.
Conversation killer, yeah.
Instead of being like, oh my gosh, that's so exciting. Where was your
go
favorite place you went?
Did you go to this place? What was your favorite food that you ate there? There wasn't any good conversation flow. But I think so much of that, and I'm taking it back to teaching, we have to be good at conversation. We have to be good at getting kids to give us answers. If you ask them, hey, did you do your homework? No. Or you could say, hey, for this question, what did you put down and why?
Open-ended question.
Yeah.
Make it flow.
And even, I feel like, I think about this guy, he's probably introverted, right?
Very much so.
I'm extremely introverted. I find it sometimes hard to have casual conversations with people that I don't know very well, including children. It is. I have to push myself to do that. Oh, you know what? Which is for an extrovert. That's what do you mean? Like but I'm telling you, it's as an introvert. And if you're an introvert, then you know what it's like when it's you got to have that social conversation. What's the next thing I'm going to ask? But you can learn how to do that.
Totally.
And if you're dating, you should be learning
Yeah.
from said book or another book. Maybe they have something similar for men, but men would like that book.
Men would like that book. It was not at all female-centered. I think everybody could read that book. Read that book. I'm going to link it in the show notes.
You'll have to.
And also Bigfoot Lodge. Love you.
Sponsor us.
Sponsor us. There's a huge Sasquatch sign in there.
Oh.
I love it in there.
I really want to go. We drove by it when we were going to Costco this weekend. And I was like, oh my god, that's the Bigfoot Lodge.
And that he was
At
at
our
Costco before
The date?
before the date.
Oh.
Yeah.
And he told you that?
Yeah.
See, that's okay. Not to draw back the mystery curtain, but
that also could be so charming to somebody else.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And he told me he was going to skate before, and then he said, "Oh, I'm at Costco." And then I did a little bit more digging, and he was skating at the Costco parking lot.
So did he go into Costco?
No, he was skating at the Costco parking lot. And I was like,
he's hitting sick jumps.
I asked him, I was like, "Were you wearing a helmet?" He was like, "No, not for the skating that I do, and I've been skating for 20-something years." I was like, "Okay."
So you can't...
Helmet, safety, I can't. It's a death trap. That was the date, but we're on to the next. We're on to the next.
Thank
and
you, next.
on to bigger and better things, taller and better things, and it's going to be great.
Yeah. Taller. Was he short?
Yeah.
How short is short?
Yeah, how short was he?
Okay, you know what? Now I'm realizing that I was wearing my brown boots. He was taller. I think he was like 5'10" or something.
Okay.
Okay.
But I think because I was in my boots.
You're like 5.
Those things give me like
1.
4 feet height. I'm barely 5'1".
I will say when I have boots on and I like hug my boyfriend, I feel taller. Like today, I was giving him a hug and I was like, I'm a giant in these shoes.
Wow.
And then I walked in, I don't know why, I wear my Doc Martens to school sometimes, but I walked onto the playground to get my kids and someone was like, oh, Mace, what do you got those boots on? And I was like, these are my working boots because we got to do some work today. They didn't think that was funny.
Babe.
But I thought it was funny.
I love that.
That's nice.
I love that.
Yeah.
Speaking of doing work, love my kids. I love my kids. I do. Okay, so today with my 7th grade English class, we did peer reviewing of their story that they wrote with vocab. And if I had a nickel for how many times I repeated the order that I wanted things stapled in, I could have funded this wine delivery.
Wow.
With just that. Plot chart! Rough draft! Peer review!
Did
And
you-
it was written on the board!
I was like, did you write it on the board?
Twice!
So I have started this thing because we've also been doing essays this week, and I've been starting to do this thing where I tell my class, if you ask me a question that is, I don't know what to do, or you ask me a question that I already explained to the whole class, I'm going to tell you to go ask a friend. I'm not telling you anymore.
Savage.
Because that you'll spend your whole life doing that. You'll spend your whole life reteaching them what freaking
can't.
order the thing paper needs to go in.
I can't. It's on the board. Who hurt me? What happened?
Yeah.
It's just this whole... We're getting to the point where it's right before spring break and everybody's motivation is rapidly declining, myself included. But we have open house to get through. I have ASB interviews to get through. I have to meet with 60 elementary kids next week to do interviews.
Oh, and they're 6th graders?
And they're 6th graders.
Cute.
But I do a group interview, and they never know what to expect. I had my student government kids, my 8th graders, give some words of wisdom to my 7th graders about, because I re-interview everybody, and that's new. That's never been done. But I don't think anybody should be comfortable. Everybody should be working hard.
Plus, interviewing is like a good...
It's a good skill.
Absolutely.
It's a good skill.
Going into 7th grade, it's a group interview. Going into 8th grade, individual interviews. But I asked them questions like I asked you. If you could be a slice of pizza, what kind of pizza would it be? And one of my kids was like, Sketch, like, why do you ask questions like that? And I told him, I was like, I'm testing to see how creative you are.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you just say melon, don't know. Give me something. Fresh watermelon on, like, the perfect summer day right after you've gotten out of the ocean.
Yeah.
Like, that crisp. I'm looking for creativity. And I'm excited to see what these 6th graders have to offer. 6th graders, if you're watching this, which you probably are. I know you are. You're doing your research.
Wow. Highly competitive.
okay, it's so funny.
Contested elections.
Because if you Google my name, this comes up now.
Perfect.
And yeah, I was looking through my Google, and all my kids always joke because I like to do this like little thing with them when we're doing writing where I'll be like, let me show you what I wrote, and I'll Google my name. My master's thesis will come up, and it's published. And I also have my LinkedIn picture. And so for children, that is super impressive. You're on Google.
Your LinkedIn picture is here.
Yes.
You took it right here.
100%.
I Googled you the other day.
Yeah. See? if you Google me, you'll see. But now it's like the 5th link down. So yeah.
Does water polo stuff come up for you?
Yeah.
Water polo stuff comes up.
And then kids like to look at that. Oh my god, look at you. You're in high school.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. But I like to Google, and then I will show them my published thesis, and then we'll look at the works cited. And then they'll be like, oh my god, that's so cool. And I'm like, yep, see? It's not all useless.
Yeah.
I'm teaching you.
Yeah.
I think this brings us to a good thing to say. Topic.
Say it.
When shit hits the fan. Bad dates, your ankle's not broken, but almost. What's ever going on with me this week? I got injured last week too. Shit.
Yeah. You
What's your plan? What do you do moving forward? What are the things you can do to turn it around?
Last night, after one of the wildest workouts that we've ever done at Farrah's in Echo Park, shout out, sponsor us, I went home, made myself burger tacos, and took a shower with my shower steamer and my candle, and it was what brought me back to life. If I hadn't done that, I don't think, repeating myself 14 times, I don't think it would have made it.
And you took an everything shower.
An everything shower is what I took.
Not a full body shower.
No.
Which is, people were confused by that. They didn't know what that meant.
Everything shower. Let's break it down. Okay, first of all.
Yeah, okay, also, we were breaking this down for, I'm like, okay, we're breaking it down for a certain population that doesn't know what that is, but we know what that is. But some people who might watch this might not.
Okay, before we talk about what it is, how often do you take an everything shower? How many times a week?
I feel like this is going to come with judgment.
Why? Okay, everybody on the count of 3, show it on your hands.
On your pants.
Ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Okay, on what? I know. Okay, on what days?
Well, it depends.
Okay.
Okay, because I will either go Tuesday, Saturday,
Okay.
or Sunday, Wednesday.
Okay.
I am also sometimes a Tuesday, Saturday, but sometimes I'll do a Wednesday, Saturday.
I'm a Wednesday, Saturday because those are the 2 days that I do the big CrossFit.
Ah, see, there you go.
Yeah.
And it just makes sense.
Yeah.
Also,
That's perfect.
it's just, it makes sense. So in everything
Yeah, so
shower,
explain what it is. We are showering more than just 2 times a week.
we
Yes.
shower every day.
Yes,
Every day.
Mostly.
Every day.
Sometimes you take baths.
I shower every day.
We shower.
Go on.
This podcast just turned into an IG podcast. So we shower every day, but you can't wash your hair every day. You
No.
can't shave your pits every day. You can't, but you have to wash your body every day. You're sweaty. You're an adult. You smell. Accept it.
Anyone over the age of 13 needs to shower every day.
Yeah.
10.
Even younger than that.
Yeah.
Some little kids.
They roll in dirt. They got that film.
Yeah.
Yeah, the film.
Everything shower. You get in there. You shampoo. I shampoo twice.
I do a double shampoo.
I do
I do a double shampoo as well.
Oh
my
my
gosh.
gosh. We should be friends. Double shampoo, and then throw in the conditioner, and whilst you're conditioning, you take care of every nook and cranny. Let it sit, let it marinate, and then I will even sometimes huddle on the floor of my shower and do my words of affirmation.
Yeah.
And then this is really
Deep cry.
This is really okay. And then you rinse yourself off and prepare for whatever lies ahead. But I just feel like Wednesday is the perfect day because you've survived as long as you have, and it's time to wash your worries away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Everything showers.
Everything showers.
I've added a dry brush prior.
Okay, I've been wondering. Okay, so tell us about what that is and why.
It's a dry brush. And it's supposed to be good for exfoliation and lymphatic drainage.
That's what I was saying. I was like, are you draining something? I was like, I feel like.
What are you draining over
What are
there?
you draining? I'm trying to drain it all.
I'm trying to drain my lymph nodes because I got
I was going to
bruises
ask,
from my...
what are you brushing as well? Nice.
All of
bruises
it.
from my,
You brushed all of it, right?
Whatchamacallit? It's my
Yeah.
crutches.
You're,
Yeah. No,
Oh!
you're supposed to start at your extremities and work your way towards your heart. or you can start around your heart and then you go short and long brushstrokes.
Oh. You're getting dead skin cells off of you.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then it's also like a massage. And it's supposed to help with the appearance of cellulite. It's supposed to be like...
Health and wellness.
Yeah, health and wellness. But I do a lot of like traditional Chinese medicine stuff.
Yeah, where did you learn that from?
I learned it from
woman?
the TikTok that I watch on Instagram.
We found out about it. We TikTokers found out about it about 3.5 years ago. Sonia's just not coming upon it. It's fine.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
It's okay.
Join the dark side.
It's relaxing. It's fun. It's something different. And
This is a new shirt.
yeah, my boyfriend got it for me in Mammoth.
Oh, wow.
It's very classic. I think
Yeah, I
you
was
said
gonna
this to me,
say-
but I was like, that's like the Mammoth shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the classic
Yeah,
one.
he says it's supposed to be oversized.
It is. Yeah.
But
Cute.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, he likes to skateboard and snowboard.
There's nothing wrong with skateboarding.
No, there's nothing wrong with it.
and it's
Okay, so I will say that this right now. We were recording this episode. It had been 42 minutes that we had been recording this, and I had a moment where I was like, I don't think I pushed record. But I did,
Okay, come here,
so
come
we
here.
are good.
because I've been immobile, so I've been doing all my wee crochet projects, and Rita loves to eat string.
Rita and I have
So-
that in common.
She's thrown up so much string. Yeah. It's been a long day.
It's been a long week, but worry not.
It's okay.
It's going to be fine.
And I also think it's like really important. I think this is a really good thing about our friendship. I think something that is really good to recognize in moments like this is at the end of the day, we all just people.
Yeah.
And I think you said it the best. The most
In the
important
club,
thing
we all fam?
in the club we all fam. And the most important thing is
He wants to be
Aww.
on the cushions.
No, he wants to be right there.
He's going to move the moment I lean back.
Is the most important thing, at the end of the day, the most important thing is we're gonna be going through it.
Shit's going to be fucked.
When it
Yes.
rains, it pours.
When it rains, it pours. We all have to tell, because people ask me about this all the time. Your podcast, when are you gonna tell funny kid stories? So think about one that's maybe light, but that happened recently. Everyone can think of
Everyone
one.
think of a funny kid story?
I think of a funny one that's like light and airy and that did make me want to bash my head into a wall.
Well, no, I think that's part of it.
Yeah.
I can share mine.
Go.
I have a student, and I looped my students, so I've taught them for 2 years, and this particular young man has annoyed me throughout our time. He's just been having some issues, as young people do. However, he is so funny. And his humor used to be really, like, offensive, so I didn't think it was funny. Like, he was just, like, making cheap jokes, like, racist, sexist jokes. But he's learned that that's not cool, but his humor is still there. And so he's been just really nailing it. And we were talking about writing their essays, and he was in a group with one of the students in my class who everyone considers very smart. Aww.
Wow.
They're best friends.
That's love.
They're workplace besties.
They're workly besties. And so this kid...
It's like wife and husband.
Aww. So this kid, we're talking about his group and who he had done his research with for his, like, pre-essay. Like, the research for the essay. And I was like, do you remember whose group you were in? And he was like, no. And I was like, do you remember where you were sitting? And he was like, no. I was like, does anyone in this room remember whose group this kid was in? And someone goes, oh yeah, he was in the group with me and this and blah 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 and blah blah blah. And the last blah 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 is this really quiet but like really smart kid. And so this kid goes, oh yes, that group, so great. And then he turns to the smart kid, and he goes, loved it. And just blows him and kicks his class. And the smart kid looks at me and goes like, but like the way that it was so funny, I was laughing so hard, and I went up to him later and I was like, dude, you're so funny, but that was good timing. Comedic timing, perfect. The time of day, not perfect.
Oh, great.
We'll work on that. And then the rest of the class period, he kept trying to get me to rate a socket player on a scale of 1 to 10.
Like on hotness?
Yeah.
Nice.
And I was like, I will not do that. He's like, no, it's okay. I'm fine with it. And I was
Okay,
like,
but he
I'm
didn't
not fine with it.
What was he?
I don't know. I don't remember what he looked like. He was like bald. So,
Bald.
shaved head.
Oh, shaved head. Okay.
So I remember being like,
Balding gracefully.
yeah, I wasn't personally thinking he was attractive.
Okay.
But yeah, that's my story. So shout out to that kid.
I have mine.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about how I used to teach a group of kids that had emotional disturbance as their primary diagnosis. And in this class, I had a lot of different personalities. And since I've started teaching English, that's just kids with special needs, learning disabilities, other health impairments, whatever it may be. The population that I'm with now thinks they're all hard and cool, and they're going to be like, oh, yeah, no, you don't get me, Miss Catch. And I have tried over and over again to be like, no, you don't understand. I've seen it all.
Yeah, you're like, no, I get you.
And so one of my kids was just like pushing me and just being an asshole. And my kids go, oh, Miss Catch, I'm so sorry he's being like that. It's probably like the worst anyone's ever treated you, right? And I was like, no, I had a child throw a desk at me one time. And they're like, what? I'm like, I had a child throw a desk at me one time because they were upset because I told them to write their name on their paper. And these kids are like, that's crazy. And then I was like, yes, this same student apologized to another teacher using their own blood. And the silence in my classroom was like, you could hear a pin drop from Nebraska. It was silent.
They were like, oh shoot.
They were like, oh, so you've seen some stuff. And I'm like, I have. Don't push me. And then, that's the first one. And then just today, I was in my English class, and my classroom faces the girls' bathroom. And what we girls love to do in the middle of class is go to the bathroom.
Oh, 100%.
And have a kiki.
And meet with all their friends.
Have a moan. They're just doing their thing. And I always pop my head out and I'm like, ladies, go to class. It's not the time. You literally have 10 minutes left. And then next door to me is our math teacher. As I pop my head out, one of my kids from the resource lab class that I teach goes, Miss Catch, I heard you did 105 pull-ups yesterday. Can you do this? And he pulls out a grip strength thing.
One of my kids had one of those today.
What is going on?
I don't know.
You're testing your grip strength.
Yeah.
So you put it on they put it as heavy as you could get it.
That's exactly what happened to me.
And they were like, oh, Miss Catch can't do it. Miss Catch can't do it. The problem is that my hand is super small.
That's what I was telling them.
And it's not, oh no, like there was wind. No, like my hand is small and I can do it. Okay. Hi. I'm part of the 750-pound club. Christina was my videographer for it. I had my 375 deadlift, my 180 bench, and my 325 back squat. And those are lifetime PRs. I'm strong as fuck.
Yeah, so you definitely can.
But I got small hands.
Yeah. Plus the grip strength, that's stupid.
Yeah, plus we should have strong grips.
No, I told the kids today, I was like, that has nothing to do with strength.
But I love that your kids had it too. But
on the same day.
They were like coming to my door. They were like, oh, Miss Catch, you have to try this. We think you can do it. We think you can do it. I was like, Gah! I couldn't do it.
Is it forearm?
It's hand.
It's a hand.
Just my hand?
It's just your grip strength. It's they're for guitar players.
Yeah.
Oh, or rock climbing?
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. But remember when we were in here and we were trying to do the all built different. We were trying to crack an egg. With that was like
TBT when eggs were disposable.
Yeah. Peak COVID. We were trying to be strong.
Wow.
Sonia, do you have your story? And then I think we're at like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You used to work with adults too.
Yeah, I used to work with adults. And I did my practicum with kids, and it was always just crazy. I did group therapy with a bunch of seven-year-olds, and they would just team up on me. And
isn't that the truth?
There'd be like 8 of them in a room, and I was like, ladies, sit down, and they'd be running. And I'm like, we're in a supply closet.
Staples falling off
Ladies,
the shelf.
sit down.
And they would just be they were so mean to me. They were so mean to each other.
Yeah.
And it was all about bullying, and it was all about kindness, and we had to have a lot of really like intense conversation about like why you can't use the N-word. And I'm like, you guys are 7.
Yeah.
Tales all the time. Tales all the time.
I just feel this is just the reality. This whole entire episode is the reality of working with people.
Yes.
And I feel like so much of our lives, like, what did you say the first episode? You are the way that you plan everything. Like, there was something that you said about who you are and how you are.
I'm tirelessly relentless or persistent. I'm tirelessly persistent.
And, like, we can try to be tirelessly whatever, fill in the blank. But then there are some weeks where it's like, hey, actually, everything's going to fall apart, but you have to keep going.
You have to continue to be that tirelessly thing.
Yeah.
Even when it's, okay, like...
tirelessly committed.
Yeah. I think it was tirelessly consistent.
Consistent.
There
it is.
But it's one of those things where it's, okay, yeah, a lot of things have gone wrong. You sprained your ankle, right? These are things where you could just be like, you know what? F it, I'm done. And sometimes you get to say F it, I'm done. But you could say F it, I'm done for a glass of wine with your friends. Or for a day. And then you have to be like, you know what?
Gotta get back on that horse.
I'm back on that horse.
Yeah.
You don't like horses.
I don't like horses. They're like dolphins.
I love both so much.
No, they're psychic.
I would like to ride both.
No.
Okay, love you both, but we can go forever.
Thanks for tuning in. If you're liking the videos that we're doing, let us know. You can text us. You probably have our numbers.
Or, actually, honestly, Daniella, the people who are watching on YouTube, I don't think they have our...
Oh, I forgot people watch us on YouTube.
I think there are people we don't know now who are watching this. You guys should
comment and subscribe.
And
Stop!
And leave either in comments on Spotify or on YouTube. Leave some ideas for us for future episodes.
And tell us where you're from.
And tell us where you're from.
And tell us if you're single. And if you're a man between the ages of 31 and 43. Questionable on kids.
And don't skateboard.
Yeah. I want you to be like... Okay.
So this is... Okay.
No, we're almost done. Okay, so must love dogs, obviously. You have to, like, maybe a martini on a Friday. And I would like for you to be, like, physically, like, active. Like, you don't have to, like, CrossFit Games. But I would like for you to go on a hike with me.
Somehow not ending.
It's ending right now. And within the Los Angeles area, 10-mile radius of LA.
So Redondo's out.
It's 12.
I'll make
15.
an exception for the beach. I'm not going out to fucking Bakersfield.
Okay, that's 20. That's a wave. Okay. You keep going.
I'm not going to IE.
Yeah, keep going.
Let's be real for a minute. Love you, IE. But yeah, so just leave a comment with a headshot.
Or just leave comments saying that you watched it.
Thanks for tuning in. And remember, if you fall down, make sure you do it in slow-mo.
And at work.
Workers' comp.
Workers' comp.